So, once again, very fast sentences. This is one wrap-up of all the tenses in a very easy way. Before we go to the exercises, because before you go to the exercises, before you start doing those harder exercises, more complicated structures, you should have a very simple understanding of 12 tenses and 12 sentences with those 12 tenses and the structures. And then, when you move into more difficult situations, more difficult sentences, more complex sentences, it's easier for you. And like I said, basically, when you speak or when you write, you can use simple structures if you have a good understanding of the tenses. When you listen or when you read, it's all about only understanding. It helps, but the real place where they are beneficial is when you speak or when you write. Because these are the two productive. Remember, we had receptive skills like listening and reading. Receptive because we receive. And productive skills of writing and speaking because we produce language. Right? So when I produce, and every sentence that I say has a verb in it, or every sentence that I write has a verb in it, if I don't know my tenses, I'll be making a lot of mistakes. But if I have a very simple understanding of all these tenses, 12 sentences in my mind, like the multiplication table that I talked about, if I have that in mind, 2 by 2 is 4. If I have 12 sentences, 12 models, 12 examples in my head, then it becomes easier for me. Then I will usually use these 12 models for all the sentences that I produce or I write. That helps me. Now, what do you do every day? Sorry? I am studying or I study?
I study.
I study every day. How do you go to school every day?
Yes, I have.
How? How do you go to school?
I take a streetcar.
He takes a streetcar. Does he take the bus? No, he doesn't. He takes a streetcar. Yes. How often do you go to school? Every day. He goes to school every day. And we remember those never, seldom, hardly, yes? Barely. After that was? Occasionally. I occasionally see him. Means from time to time. From time to time, huh? Occasionally. Sometimes. Often, usually, or usually often, and always. Right? Perfect. We're done with that. What did you do last night? What did you do yesterday? What did you do last night?
I studied.
She studied. Really?
Yeah.
She studied hard for today. She's a good student. After the barbecue and all that stuff, she went home and she said, okay, well, I have to sit down and study. Okay, and she studied and brushed her teeth and like a good girl went to sleep. And when she woke up early and she was here early before you guys, yeah. Thank you, sorry. Yes. So, yeah. So what did you do yesterday? I did this, I went there, something finished. What will you do tomorrow? I don't know, I haven't planned yet. Maybe I go over there to see him, maybe I do that. I might do this, I might do that. Will you call him? I might. Okay, I will call him, or I will call her. To be going to, and the difference between to be going to and will was plan. Like I'm going to call Darby tomorrow to ask him what, I'm going to call my phone company to ask about the mistake. Yes, I'm going to call the phone company to find out about my bill. This is your decision, your plan. After this class, we're going to call the phone company together to find out what's wrong with that bill. So what are you going to do? What are you doing right now? You're sitting in the class studying. What will you be doing at this time tomorrow? What will you be doing? Hey, what will you be doing? If I say what will you be doing, I can make that what'll you be doing, huh? What'll you be doing? So sometimes when we listen to native people speak, we don't understand them. But we see the captions in movies, we understand the movie. But we listen to the guy, we don't get it because of this. So you see what will you be doing, but you don't hear what will you. You hear what'll. What'll you do? What'll you do? What'll you do if he calls you? What'll. Yeah. You hear, like you are waiting, what if he, the guy says, what if? What if he doesn't call you? Call you. So call you is like call you. What if he doesn't call you? Would you give him a call? Would you give him a call? Give that pencil, please. You say, gimme. You don't say, give me, huh? Say, gimme. Gimme.
Yeah.
Like, give me.
Give me.
Let me. Say, let me. Let me.
Me.
Hey, let me tell you what. I'll tell you what. Let me tell you what. Yeah? So, these are the way, I mean, like, some of the things that are different when we speak and when we write, right? So, what will you be doing? What will you be doing tomorrow at this time tomorrow? Or what will you be doing tomorrow?
I'll be studying.
Yeah, but native people sometimes say, hey, what are you doing tomorrow this time? So what? I'll be studying. I'll be studying. What have you done since you got up this morning? We talked about it. What have you done? What have you done? No, what have you done? What have you done? What have you done? Be careful. You have to pronounce other things too. People don't understand. So what have you done? What have you done?
What have you done?
Yes? It says what have. Yes? So what have you done? What have you done since this morning? Well, I've come to school. I've been studying for 5 hours. I have done a lot of things. I've had my breakfast. I've come to school. I've done a lot of things. I've been studying all morning, right? What had you done before you went to bed last night? What can I say? What had you done? How can I make it shorter and contract it? What had you done? What have you done? What had you done or what have you done? So what have you done or what have you done? So what had you done before you went to sleep last night? What had you done? She said she had brushed her teeth, she had done her homework. Yes? Before going to, remember, past perfect, something before something else in the past, right? What will you have done by the time you go to bed tonight? So I said, instead of saying, what will you have done? We can say, what will you have done? What will you means what will you? What will you have done? What will you have done? It means what will you have done? This is a tense What'll you? Waddle. Look, what will? Waddle. Look, you know this one. You say, I'll do something. I'll see you. Guys, wait. What do we say? I will see you. We said I'll see. What will? Waddle. Waddle. What'll you do? What will you do or what'll you do? What'll you do? Waddle, waddle. So instead of I will waddle, what will you or what'll you? What'll you do if you see him? What'll you do if you see him? Waddle. So what will you have done? What will you have done by the time you go to bed tonight? I will have done. I will have brushed my teeth. No. I will have brushed my teeth. I will have done my homework. I will have talked to my boyfriend. I will have called my girlfriend. I will have finished all my homework. Will have done something, right? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Instead of saying what are you doing, we say what are you? Yes? How do we say that?
What are you doing?
Yeah?
What are you doing?
So instead of saying what are you, we say what? Water? Water? You, it's like water.
Yeah, water.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Now, instead of what are you doing, some people when they want to say how are you, what do they say?
How are you?
Instead of saying how are you, what do they say?
How are you?
So, Instead of saying how are you, they say how you doing. How are you doing?
How are you doing?
So instead of saying this, they say how are you
Doing.
How are you
doing?
How are you doing? How are you doing?
So they sometimes say how you,
How
how
are you doing?
how you doing? How you doing?
How are you doing?
Not even G. How you doing? So how you doing? Is how are you doing?